I'm David Edwards, and thanks to all of you for being here today. Your time is precious, so mine will be short. I just want to cover two things, little things, the present and the future. Recently, Education International, we surveyed a group of our nearly 400 member organizations in about 178 countries all around the world, where you're coming into us today. And teachers, education support personnel are worried that governments are going to open schools without consultations or resources for safe teaching and learning. So together, we have developed a basic 5-step guidance on reopening education institutions so that teachers like you and education support personnel and students can be protected by evidence-informed public health measures in this transition. So first, governments must communicate transparently about the plans for on-site education, and those openings must be tied to the advice of health experts. Continuous dialogue with educators and their unions, that's a cornerstone of any successful plan to both assess and agree on health and safety measures for students and for staff. So there must be agreement and clarity on the hygiene measures necessary for keeping children, students, and staff safe, as well as preventative measures for containing the spread of this virus. And along with collaboration and agreements, planning for the transition must be guided by equity. Recognizing that already vulnerable students, your students, and education workers may continue to be the most affected by this pandemic. So we need a support structure put in place for them, including systems to aid their well-being and their mental health. Now, what about the future? Well, I'd like to call it forward to school rather than back to school, because we wouldn't be teachers if we didn't take all that we've learned in this crisis crash course and put it to work. There is no going back. We've seen with our own eyes how inequality has been amplified in this so-called new normal. We know what it means for students and teachers who can't connect with the internet or themselves. And we know that training for distance education was almost non-existent, that instead of real research and collaboration into what works with technology, we've been guinea pigs in a marketplace of promises. And raise your hand if you've had the time to work with colleagues to plan for online instruction and feedback, let alone your regular curriculum. And, well, we all know the answer to that. Teachers, we're the original open source profession. If ever our adaptability to change was in doubt, those doubts are gone. So let's get the future right, with the right tools, the adequate time to train and collaborate, and the mutual trust between systems and people. What else have we learned? Well, we've learned that schools are essential to our communities. They're more than brick and mortar. They're centers of learning and health, central to our economies and our ethical sense of nationhood and identity, solidarity. No one says, well, now we have these virtual platforms, so let's just figure out how to better stay home and improve our screen experiences. No. The world wants teachers and students together in schools, in our communities, with training and resources, including technology, but to do the job right. At Education International, we take this very seriously. It's who we are. We believe quality education is not only a public good, it's a human right, inseparable from quality health care, ending poverty and gender discrimination, and cleaning up our environment. The right to a quality education is in the Sustainable Development Goals approved by the UN just 5 years ago. Educated societies with vital public sectors are healthier. Family incomes are higher, national poverty is reduced, so is child labor and violence against girls and women. EI has been fighting for teachers and all educators for more than 25 years, building the capacity of our member organizations to represent educators for better pay and working conditions, engaging in dialogue in every forum to promote democracy, and mounting effective global and regional advocacy and campaigns. If you'd like to know more about organizations in your own country and how to get involved to be part of this, please email us at the address on the screen. We can't predict the future, But we can go forward prepared, creating the conditions for professional autonomy, taking responsibility to defend and uphold high standards for our profession, and ensuring education institutions are safe, respectful, inclusive, and equitable. Let's keep working and fighting together.